Get in, nerds. We are playing Victoria 3. We are working on starting to get our subjects annexed. And I think the best way to do this might actually be to start with Peru-Bolivia. Because you can't go around annexing. And I want to get... I think maybe getting all that infamy out of the way first is the right call. So I think we're just going to increase the game speed here. And just let our infamy decay a bit more. We got some market access issues. Oh, right, we're in the middle of building... It's a new session, obviously. We're in the middle of building some railroads. We're actually going to need more railroads in Sahara than this. So let's go ahead and throw those in at the top of the construction queue. And it looks like we got some market access issues in Iowa and Ohio as well. So we'll build railways there. We'll build 2 in Ohio. And then Iowa is here. 2 there as well, just to make sure that we're good to go. Let's go ahead and throw these in at the top of the queue. As you can see, the private queue has taken up more and more of the construction capacity, which is good. That is what we want. In fact, I think we're closing in on them actually using their 75%. Yeah, they're transferring 275% against our 275,000 pounds worth of construction materials compared to our 355,000 that we're spending. So that's about 75%. I'm improving relations with Luru. I've got a lot of influence. That's going to go away in good time. I think I might guarantee their independence. Just for funsies. I like Uluru, as many of you have seen in various Let's Plays. So, again, ooh, we're short on... Well, I've got a bunch of government admins queued up, so that's not going to be an issue. So, to annex Peru-Bolivia, we're going to need 85.7 infamy, which means we're going to need to get down to 14, just to be safe. We'll let it go for a year just to get that done. I think I want to throw... No, I'm good with these where they are. This isn't bothering me. Reinforced concrete, so that's extra construction sector throughput, which is excellent. So that means... Ooh, and we've got some events. American-British Fellowship has offered the... Oh, I don't want Britain investing in me. The American-British Fellowship has offered us an opportunity to establish a foreign investment rights agreement with Great Britain. The lobby has offered to use their connections to smooth the negotiating process. The negotiations, done under the table with a representative of the British government, have been long and arduous. The British representative knew they were dealing with a group without power to match theirs and had adjusted their strategy accordingly. Nevertheless, they'd come to an agreement. Nothing in writing, but that was hardly important. When the government sent the official copy, if they did, they would find there was already a drafted response waiting in London. This is not in our interests. Walls and wheat paste. Pedro Serrano has organized a nationwide postering campaign on behalf of the movement to enact protected speech. In some cities, there's scarcely a wall left unmarked by pro-protected speech displays. Sunday, gathering for protected speech. Meetings at all community houses, 7 to 8 p.m. Show your support for the just cause of protected speech. Refreshments available at 7:30 for all attendees. Subscribe to the local advocate for further information. They'll wash away with the rain, plus 10 movement support, or order these walls cleaned, minus 10 popularity for Serrano. I'm going to go with the second one. I'm not going to go to protected speech. I also realized a bunch of my armies are not using field hospitals, so I'm going to do that. These armies aren't mobilized, so this shouldn't be an issue. And I think I'm also going to activate rail transport. That should be fine. It's going to cost us some extra engines, but it is what it is. So, opium is still expensive in the market, mostly due to pop consumption. Interesting. I cannot, at this time, turn my opium plantations into, change my production methods because New Grenada has not discovered the necessary tech. Still, because that's a lot of opium, let's throw a bunch of plantations into production. I realize I'm using up all the arable land here, but it's going to be worth it in the long run. This is the only place I can harvest opium, so it's what we've got to do. So again, our goal with annexing Peru-Bolivia is we're going to try to keep our infamy under 100, and you know, maybe we'll try to get it back to you know, 70, 75 as soon as we can. I don't know if there's a breakpoint between 75 and between 50 to 75 and 75 to 100. I think the only breakpoints are 0 to 25, 25 to 50, and then 50 to 100. So basically we're going to be quite infamous for a long time, and it's really going to goof up our influence and make all of our other vassals big mad. That said, we can maybe do ourselves a little annexing spree. If we can. And, you know, I'm gonna see how it goes. I'm freaking kicking myself about Panama. Ooh, colonization of Equateur has completed. That's... where is that? That's here. Commence incorporation. You will be incorporated. The Great Idaho Earthquake. The state of Idaho has been reduced to ruins by an earthquake of unprecedented scale. Countless buildings have been destroyed, and the amount of lives lost is impossible to tell. We thought the world was ending when it happened, and we weren't exactly wrong. Whole towns destroyed, entire families lost. It'll never be the same here. The state will have to deal with it on their own, 40% devastation and chance of a famine. Or we should put some money into relief. 97,000 for 5 years. Oh man. That's so much. That's so much. The state will have to deal with it on its own. Again, if I weren't going to be going into a situation that's likely to put me in a lot of wars, I would be more cognizant. But I'm about to go into a situation that's going to involve potentially a lot of wars. Army of the Isthmus needs conscripts. Let's go ahead and throw in... a bunch of levels of skirmish infantry, or of trench infantry, and we'll throw in some levels of artillery as well. 10, and then we'll do 5 levels of cavalry from Tennessee. That'll be fine. Army of West Africa's got some excess battalions. I'm not sure how they got up to 8. Oh, I bet because of Outer Houseland. Yeah, I get it. Never mind. I understand now. So we'll bring them up to 10. And I think we'll do 5 base artillery. Yeah, that'll be fine. And then we'll throw in an additional few levels of artillery. More? Yeah. There we go. Perfect. All in Windward Coast. In Guinea. Let me see. Yeah, France, Senegal is still holding part of Guinea. I'm going to have to hold off on conquering the rest of Guinea and the rest of Volta. For now. Just on account of I got to save that infamy for all this chicanery I'm going to get up to. Let me see. Army of Florida. I'm going to rename this army. This is going to be the Army of Dixie. Just more generally. And we're going to increase some of these. I think we need some cavalry here. So we'll put some units of cavalry. And that's 5. And then I think we're going to want to increase the baseline level of standing troops. Dixie is basically full at this point because of my maximum number of barracks is super duper low because I got a national militia instead of a standing army. So that's part of why. That is what it is. Army of Central America is looking good. I think we've got enough capacity for everything. And do I want to build coastal defense forces? I think I need to build a few coastal defense forces. So let's go ahead and get started with that. And these armies will just defend coasts. How's this army in the Great Plains? We'll call... Let me see. All these guys are petite bourgeoisie or have a terrible trait. Syphilis isn't that bad. This guy's honorable and erudite, but a radical. So that seems good. We'll do 5 levels of trench infantry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then for conscripts, we'll do 5, 10, 15. And 10 artillery. First Coastal Defense Division. And we have an event. An insubordinate jingoist. An officer from our African colonies has intentionally provoked a confrontation with Kasanje, despite instructions to keep the peace. We can either save face by going along with the officer's plot, or recall him, admit that we lost control of the situation, and upset the jingoists. Again, the jingoists are, well, the armed forces. We do need the armed forces happy right now. And the armed forces are, I don't want to lose happiness with the armed forces. So Kasanje is where? Oh, right in here. Oh, interesting. Alright. Never mind the missives of weak-minded fools in the capital. Everything I've accomplished during these campaigns was done in spite of the ministry, not because of it. So we have no choice but to attack Kasanje, 75 tension, or recall the officer and end this madness. Reduced prestige, reduced armed forces opinion. I'm going to go with the first one. I need armed forces opinion to be high right now. Ooh, a Dutch bourgeois revolt. Interesting. So, I think next we're going to make another coastal defense force. Oil in Ohio, nice. Let's see. We're going to go with our syphilitic because, again, wounded is extra morale loss and shell shock is really terrible. So once again, we'll do 5... skirmish infantry as the standing force, and then we'll do 10 each artillery and infantry. Wow, California has a high population. I suppose I shouldn't be surprised by that. Lots to do here. I think Holstein has died. But that doesn't affect me. Hesse, not involved. Javanese uprising against the Dutch East Indies. Now that's an interesting situation. Java would be interested, but not in being a subject, so that is what it is. And then Great Britain is going up against British Senegal. Senegal wants independence. Hold up. So, this is British Senegal here. Sierra Leone and Cape Colony and Russia up against Great Britain. I might be called into this. And I'm getting to be able to do the thing that I want to do, so I might actually declare neutrality on this. In fact, I'm going to. Again, you're able to declare neutrality with a country if you don't... Yeah, I think I'm going to declare neutrality. You can declare neutrality while declaring neutrality doesn't count as dishonoring your alliance, which is what it counts as if you're if you straight up refuse to involve yourself. I need to take a look at some production methods. Sort things by market price here. We're looking specifically at plantation goods because I need to figure out how to... Do I have the synthetics tech yet? Not yet, but I'm getting there. I'm getting there. I forgot, I didn't realize I'd gotten electricity already. I need to look at some goods because I'm going to need to use... Well, so the thing is, if I increase the efficiency of the plantations, I don't know if that will actually help. Because we got so much... like, so many of these goods, we're overproducing them. Dutch East Indies wants to grant us investment rights. No, thank you. I don't wish to invest in you. I'm investing in myself. Like Kiryu. Mecklenburg can't be bothered. Schwarzburg can't be bothered. Let me see. Do I throw these barracks at the top? I think I do. I think that's the sensible way to do things. Alright. Continuing to build up a reserve. Alright, we're down to 15.6 infamy. Annex 85.9. It's going up. It's going up as fast as I can get my freaking stuff ready. Inconceivable. So this is why I need to go after Peru-Bolivia as soon as I can. Because once it gets over 100, I'm toast. I'm not going to be able to do it at all. And we'll see how the world reacts to me then. Low org for these armies. Well, yeah, because they don't have any units. We'll call you the 2nd Coastal Defense Division. 2nd with an N. And then I think I'm going to develop a 3rd Coastal Defense Division. Put them in New England. I don't know why I put the 1st Coastal Defense Division in the Midwest. Well, I can't change their... Probably because they don't have any units. I can't change their HQ because they don't have any units. Alright, so we'll go ahead and build one more. We'll put them in New England. Let me see. Okay, you're a stalwart defender and meticulous. That's a good thing to be. Once again, we'll do 5 battalions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we'll do conscripts. I don't want to invest in you, Oldenburg. I just don't. And that'll be fine. And we'll throw those ones in at the top as well. Huh. Where's construction progress? Oh, because of the Rocky Mountains. Yeah, well, building in mountains is hard. I agree. Sensible excuse. Get these barracks built. This should also be increasing our power projection, although we're still behind France a little bit. But part of that's just because of our standing armies. When we conscript all this, we go up to being rank 2, actually, which is quite funny, in my humble opinion. Still at a little bit of a weird place with these fleets that can't hire. Not really sure what to do about that, but it is what it is. Alright, so 10th American Army, you're going to be called the 3rd Coastal Defense Division. And 1st Coastal Defense Division, we're going to relocate you to Dixie. And that should be fine. And we have an event here. Whistle Stop Tour. Oh, there's an election going on. Whistle Stop Tour. Newton Foster intends to travel across South Dakota by train to campaign for the Socialist Party of America. All I intend to do is present myself to the people. I'm just a simple man trying to get our party's message out by the best means possible. Socialist Party's got quite a bit of momentum, but the Republicans are still holding it. Campaigning by rail is a smart move, 10% momentum, or it'd be a shame if the campaign train kept suffering delays. I'm going to do the second one. I think with what we're doing now, I want to keep President Europe in power. Oh, I'm also realizing something. I'm still on freaking high government wages, and I can reduce that when the time comes. That might be enough to kick my my petite bourgeoisie down a peg or two. We'll see how that goes, though. Please tell me at least some of these government admins are in Illinois. They are. Alright. Colonization of Zambia is complete. Oh, excellent. Zambia. Here. Commence incorporation. The great state of Zambia deserves to have freedom. Oh. I never started incorporating Kasai for some reason. How tragic. We'll get started on that right away. Gosh, I'm going to need more government admin. This is bananas. B-A-N-A-N-A-S. Although I guess I haven't really built up all the government admin that I queued in. And this is a capitalist revolt in Hanover, which I can safely ignore. This is a proletarian revolt in Pontianak in Indonesia, and that I can safely ignore as well. Misplaced moderation. George Fuller has criticized numerous decisions made by the leadership of his own Republican Party, calling Theodore Roosevelt excessively cautious and unwilling to address critical issues. I often wonder, looking at the activities that we carry out, specifically those which are most crucial to expanding our pool of supporters, whether Roosevelt is authentically aware of or dedicated to their success. Our fundraising is generally acceptable. The coffers of the party are without complaint, but neither are our accountants. But such resources have yet to be mobilized in a way that benefits the common good. And so my thesis is this: what does Roosevelt intend, and how best to change his mind on the matter? So Theodore Roosevelt is a yeoman farmer's reformer. Interesting. It would be best to simply do as he wishes. Roosevelt becomes unpopular and 20% extra momentum. Or freeze him out of meetings until he apologizes, reduce momentum. I'm going to do the first one. We're going to keep President Europe in power for now. British Senegal claims Guinea. This is just British Senegal having an uprising. So how's Britain's war going on? They're notorious as well. Well, we'll be friends in infamy. That's what I say. Still getting real short on bureaucracy, but we're getting up there. So, do I have any more barracks under production? I don't. We're at 13 infamy flat. Actually, subject to 86.2. So that shouldn't put us over 100. We're almost at the end of the episode, and I'm tempted to wait till next time. But the time for action is now. 99. We're notorious. All right. Ooh, and we're up against Mexico. So now I have an option, which is I could just seize a bunch of territory from Mexico. I'm not going to do that. You know what? I didn't set my mobilization options for my coastal defense forces, or for apparently the Army of Central America, which I'm now kicking myself for. But that's okay. So these armies are going to have their organization goofed in the critical moments prior to a war starting, but that's okay. I'm going to mass mobilize, but I'm not going to start conscription. And we're just going to see what happens. So right now, immediately, I'm down on influence, and obviously all my puppets are going to be big salty. But I think I'm going to be able to deal with this. If no one steps in, which it looks like very few countries intend to do, almost assuredly Ecuador will step in, but that simply is what it is. Italy's likely to come in on our side, and the Dutch East Indies are helping me. Because I'm supporting their independence? Interesting. Italy. What kind of an army does Italy have? Italy has a significant army. So, let's go ahead and send the American Expeditionary Force to Peru-Bolivia. If Italy steps in, then we'll rethink our situation. Army of California is going to the Mexican border. And I think I'm going to send the Army of the Americas to the Mexican border as well. Now, the Army of the Isthmus will deploy to the south of Mexico. And the armies of West Africa and Central Africa will deploy to Peru-Bolivia. All right. Lots of events are likely to occur. Let's reduce the game speed a little bit and check out the market. Engines are very expensive now that the war has started. Let's go ahead and build up the automotive industry. Not a lot of labor available in Michigan. A lot of labor available in California. Let's build some there. Let's see. Motor industries. We'll build 10 levels of motor industries. There's the election. Italy sides with Peru-Bolivia. All right. We knew that was going to happen. We are in a righteous government. Excellent. Mexico has a significant army, but they've got real forces. They got shrapnel artillery. They only got skirmish infantry though. But with Italy getting in on this, I think it's going to be conscripts o'clock. So let's go ahead and get that started. We'll just raise all of them. Get the boys together. And we'll keep the Army of Dixie down here for the moment. Italy is probably going to send units. Not that many, though. Interesting. Great Britain colonized Botswana. Dang it, they... Oh, okay, no, they haven't sealed me off from over here. I'm almost there. Actually, just wait for a day to kick over. Alright, and we'll colonize. Excellent. And we have colonization going in these areas as well, right? Western Australia. That's very funny. Yeoman farmers petition government. Representing his constituents in the Yeoman farmers, Theodore Roosevelt has issued a formal petition to the American government to pass agrarianism. One last matter for the day, sir. Members of your constituency arrived this morning. They're asking rather loudly and insistently if you would meet with them about new legislation. Well, is that it? Goodness, you seem as if you've seen a ghost. I'm sure we can spare the last hours of the light for them, can't I? I believe so, sir. They weren't taking no for an answer. So, yeoman farmers are at plus 12. Realistically, I can live without them. I can live with them being salty. I can probably do this and ignore it. That'll buy me 5 years, and if I do something else to make them I might be able to do something else to make them happy. So we'll see what we can do as we wage our war. Now, I can bring Great Britain onto my side. But do I want to do that? Great Britain is already deep in some other wars. I'm gonna... Well, how confident am I feeling? Forced comparison here is looking good. Forced comparison here is looking excellent. Forced comparison here could be better, but it simply is what it is. I think I'm going to leave it. I think I'm going to let Great Britain sit this one out. And we'll kind of see what happens. So I think for the moment, I'm going to set these armies... Well, I'm not going to change... I think this force comparison is going to get a lot better as we get more mobilized, because I got the Army of the Americas over here. I think I'll use the Army of Dixie for home defense. 3rd Coastal Defense Force should have its conscripts raised, and it doesn't seem to be developing much of a force. So, oh, Pete's sake, there's a front in New Guinea. All right, we'll send the 2nd Coastal Defense Division to deal with that. Forgot Italy was in New Guinea. I see no way I can sneak in a war goal against that and just steal that territory, can I? I sure assume not. Main fleet's over here. How much infamy would it be? How much infamy? I can't do it. Oh no, that's Mexico. This is Italy. China, Eastern New Guinea, 4.8. Not right now. Some other time, Italy. Some other time. So, now that my infamy is at 97, let's take a look at my situation. As you can see, all my puppets have a 0.25 per day increase in liberty desire based on my infamy. So it really does make it difficult to maintain an empire when you're infamous. Oil discovered in Bolivar, very nice. Alright, now they're putting some forces in here. On the Peru-Bolivia front. So we're going to see if having the Italians there makes any difference. I don't think it will. Gotta figure out where this army is going. If this army is going to the northern front, then I need to be careful. But I think the war is at least going to get started before they do. Only partially. Alright, beautiful. Colonization of Botswana is complete. Great Britain sides with Argentina. Oh. Whew! Thought that might have been my situation. Alright. The great state of Botswana will soon be part of the United States. Arms. Venezuela's probably going to try to increase autonomy. They're next. Alright, battles have kicked off. How are force comparisons? Force comparisons looking good. Italy has declared a rivalry. That's fine. You know what? We'll declare a rivalry on them as well. I'll give you some extra influence to play around with. So I think with this front, I'm actually going to... I've already started to do some offensive battles, but I think from here, I'm actually going to put these armies on defense, and just let the enemy bash their head against that for a bit. Force comparison over here is still good. We are winning. So I'm feeling pretty pretty good overall about my ability to win this thing. That said, we are over time for this episode, so we will get started next time, afresh, as 'twere, with our war against Peru, Bolivia, and Italy, and Mexico. Oh my goodness, we're already losing battles up here. Oops! Anyway, I've had fun. I hope you all have had fun, and I'll see you on the other side.